Human trafficking is an organized crime which exists in our modern world in terms of modern slavery. The bad enough is it does not discriminate. Anyone can be a victim of this, regardless the age, gender, or status. And the youth has been the targeted group. We would like to know why. Sister Jacqueline from Loreto Sisters is going to explain us why. Sister, good afternoon. Please come close.
Good afternoon to you.
How have you been?
I'm well.
Tell us the trip from Kenya to Tanzania. How has it been?
It was a good trip. I found people in Tanzania very welcoming.
Including me?
Yeah, including you and all the people I've encountered. You are so warm, so welcoming. I feel at home. I have arrived in Tanzania today morning and I'm very happy because I've received warm welcome from anybody I met with. From the airport even to where we are standing with you here, Leonard. I got good welcome from you and sisters here. And the youths, I found many youths from different universities gathered here today. And the aim of coming here was to support our youth ambassadors who work with us. We work together with them in curbing human trafficking as Talithakum International. Last year we trained 50 youths from different 15 countries in curbing human trafficking. We provided them with the skills which they can use to counteract human trafficking in their different countries. And today we have two of them, that is Najma and Jervas, who have mobilized University of Dodoma and Mipango University come together, sensitize them with the information of anti-human trafficking so that they may disseminate it in the community where they live, where they work, where they go to school. So we are happy and we are calling about all these two universities and other universities in Kenya that they can join hands with the TICAS Tanzania, that is Talithakum in Tanzania, in curbing human trafficking. We need more youth to join us so that we can spread the message of anti-human trafficking here in Tanzania and across Africa and across the world.
Back to the point, human trafficking. Can you please explain give us a little introduction about yourself and what you have been doing about this human trafficking, the role you have been playing?
Okay, just to introduce myself, I'm Sister Jacqueline Mwikali Mongela from Kenya. From the Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary. It's commonly known as Loreto Sisters. And I coordinate the youth ambassadors in Africa. And when I mean youth ambassadors in Africa, it's Talithakum Youth Ambassadors in Africa. We work under the umbrella of Talithakum International in Rome. Yeah.
Now, the issue of human trafficking, as I've said earlier, that the youth has been targeted. The group will firstly want to know why youth and not other people.
Okay, first is the youth because the youth are very vulnerable and children. When you talk of youth, we also include the group of children there because children are vulnerable, also the youth. We have the issue of migration whereby every person has the right to migrate from one place to another for greener pastures. And when you know that our youth are very ambitious in each and every country and they want good life. So you find that they are very vulnerable and sometimes they like shortcut. I'm sorry to say that our youth nowadays love shortcut. And in the process of shortcuts, we have people who can decept them, and because of their nature of being ambitious, looking at what they want to achieve in life, they may be lured and fall trap and prey to human trafficking. Okay. Yes.
Now, can you please tell us, in East Africa community, for example, how big is this problem? This
problem is real. Is real. Human trafficking is very real. Both internal human trafficking, and when I mean internal human trafficking, I mean that human trafficking which happens within a country. If it is in Tanzania, it happens within Tanzania. If it is Kenya, it happens within Kenya. Uganda, it happens within Kenya. When I mean external, it means that people move from Kenya to Tanzania, from Tanzania to Uganda. It is like within the communities, like cross-border, whereby people are being sold. We are talking of human trafficking. They are being sold and they are being trafficked. It's just exploitation. The whole purpose of human trafficking is exploitation. And you'll find that even on the desk I'm seated now because I am a project manager of Talitha Kum Kenya. We encounter cases from these 3 countries of human trafficking, whereby people have trafficked from Uganda, from Tanzania, from Kenya, and they need to be reintegrated and repatriated back to their own countries. So the issue is real and it's big because every day human trafficking we see that more than even 1,000 people are trafficked differently because you have different form of human trafficking. It might be because of forced labor, whereby people are sold just to go and work in the houses of people, both internally and external. It might be in other countries like in Gulf states. That is an issue we are having nowadays, whereby young people are moving from these countries and go to Gulf states for work, and once they go there in Gulf states, maybe it was a teacher, it might be a nurse, they just become they just work in the houses, different job from what they were expecting from, yet they had been promised a good job, even a good contract. So those are the issues we're encountering now here in Kenya, in East African community, and this calls for a collaborative approach whereby all these 3 countries come together to fight this menace of human trafficking. And as you talk, Talitha Kum International is a network by itself, and this is a group of sisters from Rome, and we are in 5 continents of the world, whereby we come together as sisters, as priests, as brothers, as lay people to curb this menace of human trafficking. And as we talk, we have, through this network, we have rescued, we have created prevention efforts for many people in these countries, even in the world.
Okay. Yeah. What about the peoples with disabilities? How vulnerable are they as far as this problem of human trafficking is concerned?
Okay, when I talk of people with disability or who are challenged, gifted differently, let me use the word gifted differently, it is that they are vulnerable. Like in the country I am in Kenya, you'll find them in the streets of Nairobi begging. We call it forced begging, whereby they beg during the day. In the evening, they are taken to a house. And when they are taken in the house, they are only given 1 meal, no money. The money they are given, they collect through other people just begging, is taken to one pocket. And they are dropped very early by big cars, whom we don't know who are the owners, but their work is to beg. Forced begging. It's like begging for other people. They are being misused. They are being exploited, which need to be stopped.
Okay. Now, as the champion about this, can you give us the way forward now as far as how are you going to combat this problem? As you have seen, we are being used the youth to combat the problem, but does it enough only using the youth?
No, we need collaborative action whereby apart from the youth, apart from different organizations, apart from the church, the government still needs to be there, and all of us, so that we can curb this menace of human trafficking. Why? You will find that it's dynamic. Human trafficking changes from time to time. It may take this nature now. A person can lure you to education now, tell you that I'm giving you a good water, a good bursary to go and study in Canada. It may happen in a way whereby you are being told that you have a spouse somewhere, and you find that it is not marriage. It may happen that you may be in servitude, whereby you may work forever because of something you did, and you have to pay back that money. All those are challenges which will take different dynamics, and we need collaborative action so that we can address it. One person can't address it, one entity or institution can't manage it. We need to come together and combine our efforts so that we can create synergy in combating human trafficking here in Tanzania, as East African community, in Africa and the whole world.
Lastly, we have different ways of human trafficking, including sex trafficking and that of selling and human parts. Yeah. Which one do you think it has been a very big problem? It's leading.
Okay, first I should say that human trafficking by itself, apart from the forms, human trafficking is the second largest business in the world. The first is drug trafficking and small firearms. The second is human trafficking, and in this people acquire millions of money, and it has become addictive to the perpetrators because of the millions of money they earn. So it has a a lot of income to them by exploiting other people. That's why I say it's not a good thing. But we are taking in that perspective, that whereby we are saying that it is the second largest business in the world. And
do we call it really a business?
It's a business because they are selling, for them is selling. They have lost that dignity of a human being. They're exploiting this human being who is so innocent. And when you talk of sex trafficking, women and girl child are very vulnerable because a good percentage of them is like 70% of human trafficking is sex trafficking, whereby these girls are taken as slaves. Sex slaves by other people, be it in your own country or in another country, whereby they are used by many men during a day, but they don't earn that money. It's not like what we say like sex, like what we say prostitution. No, it's not like commercial sex worker. These are girls who are fully exploited, even through drugs, because they don't operate very well. They inflict them with drugs so that they can manage exploiting them. So we can say that there's a lot of misuse. We call them business to them. It has been business because these cases have been reported to us. It's a business because they sell them online. It is a business whereby nowadays it's like you go to a market and buy a goat, a cow. Nowadays we trade online that I need this worker when I'm in Saudi Arabia. I need this worker. I can be able to identify whom I want online so that she can come and work for me in my house. So that's why we are saying that it's a business now. So we have lost that human dignity in us. So we hope that we can be challenged to go back and get the roots whereby we value human dignity. In our Catholic Church, we value human dignity. Actually, it's one of our social principles in the Catholic Church. So we are challenged to go back and see that human being, that God in another person. Okay. So that is the challenge you are giving to one another now.
Before you step ahead, can you tell us the case about human trafficking that you will never ever forget?
Yeah. Okay, I have a case, name withheld, because yes. I handled the case as survivors of human trafficking. And I forgot to say that the UN has a strategy of curbing human trafficking, whereby there's prevention, there's protection, there's prosecution, and there's partnership. When you mean prevention, is creating awareness to people, awareness campaigns to people, whereby they are able to understand what is human trafficking. Because most of the people are ignorant of human trafficking. They don't know what is human trafficking. When you mean protection, is that rescuing survivors of human trafficking or victims from wherever they are in any of the country and providing the support they need, be it psychological support, be it medical support, be it economic empowerment. When you mean prosecution, we have the lawyers or the advocates who should prosecute these perpetrators of human trafficking wherever they are, so that they can we can stop them from exploiting other people. And when you mean of partnership, we can't work alone. We have to partner with other people so that we can continue working. And you had asked me of a question of a case I'll never forget. We have very many cases, and the cases are actually to the extreme, whereby you feel like I will be not be dignifying that person when I talk about the story. But you have this story whereby this young lady is an orphan. She was being exploited since the mother and father died when she was young. But from the age of 9, she was being exploited by the uncles. And then the grandmother told her, don't talk about this. She was keeping quiet and she's been defiled. After she was taken to a home, children home, but after that she couldn't even manage. She went to streets. She got 2 children at the age of 9, twins. So she was being mistreated. So she was married. She got other children. So by the end of the day, she went to Saudi Arabia. When she went to Saudi Arabia, because of the business she had engaged in of commercial sex worker, she felt it was difficult for her to be exploited. She came back to us in Talithakum, Kenya. We had to support that young lady to overcome the issues the past experiences in her life. And after overcoming that past experiences of her life, she has a child now who developed a heart problem and also died. So it was a problem after a problem. And as we talked, now she's surviving in cancer. like it's a problem after another, and she had been trafficked in she was been trafficked in a country whereby we'll uphold the name. So that gives me a scenario whereby, because of poverty, which is a driving issue of human trafficking, this girl found herself in that state. Because of vulnerability, she has no parents, she found herself in that state of being exploited. So my challenge is that to our parents who are taking, any person who has a parent, they need to provide the necessary needs of these children. We should know that a child is a person who is below 18 years. These children have the right of education. It's not good to take these children and work for us to earn money as a family. That child has a right of education, and once you do so, you are doing child trafficking, and that is a criminal act. You need to be shown in the court. Yeah, the other thing is this. Once you have children who are working in these Gulf states, once they come back, we need to welcome them with two hands. Such a point that she's a victim, she's coming in the country, and you are the parent, but you don't want to welcome her. You are just seeing her in terms of money or him. If she has not that money, it's like you are nobody to me. We need to receive them well. When they are wounded, we need to accompany them when they are healing, so that they can get mutual support and recover fully. Because sometimes the family rejects them, the victims of human trafficking. It is left with us organizations, as religious sisters or priests or brothers or Talitha Kum International, to handle them, yet they have family who can give them the mutual love they need during that time. Yeah.
Thank you very much. As a parent, if you have your girls there and they are doing work outside your region, if they are doing Arusha, Kigoma, whatever the case, you do call them house girls. By the parents, you used to talk their money. That's also human trafficking. That's Sister Jacqueline from Leroto Sister sharing her missionary experience dealing with human trafficking. Now, I would like to hear some views from youth themselves. How are they going to join hands to fight against human trafficking? Because they are targeted group.
University of Dodoma, together we say, stop human trafficking.
My name is Sarah Vedastos. I'm from the University of Dodoma. I'm here today as a student and as the youth, and I've get a lot today for sure. And as a girl and also a youth, I learned how to protect myself and how I can protect others through the education I get today. And I would like to give my sincere thanks to Talitha Kum for organizing us and giving us this education, because they saw it's very important to us as youth to learn this, because we are the most affected people. And we invited here two universities, Mipango University and Dodoma University, as the most popular places which carry many people who are affected with this human traffic. And through this meeting, we are giving very thanks to this Talitha Kum and for our Almighty God for this opportunity. And we're here getting education, and when we are going back to our universities or our societies, we can spread this out without any fear, so that our fellows, they can get education, and they can know how they are going to overcome this problem of human traffic.
My good names are Derek Humphrey from University of Dodoma, pursuing Bachelor of Arts, Project Planning, Management and Community Development. Well, on this program, or on this workshop of combating human trafficking, I've been benefited a lot, but the main and the key benefit is I've been benefited on the knowledge on how I can protect myself as a youth from human trafficking. Also, how I can protect myself or how I can live in a way that it won't make me prone to human trafficking. Basically, I'll use this knowledge to help my fellow youth in the following ways. Number one, it is through enlightening my fellow youth on how they use their social medias, so that it won't be as so that these social medias or their social media accounts won't be their one of the weapons to destroy them, or one of the vessels that will take them to human trafficking. How? As we know, most of the youth use their social media accounts to post how they look, how they dress themselves and all that, but they don't know how these pictures they are posting make them prone to human trafficking. For instance, those agents of human trafficking may be looking for girls or men for sexual business. So through passing in the social medias, they may find one of the youth or some of the youth who expose themselves, who expose their bodies through their dresses, which may attract those agents and may make them prone, or they may call them towards their life for human trafficking. So one of the key things that I'll do within the confines of my efforts is to make sure that these people, or my fellow youth, are enlightened, and I encourage them, enlighten them, advising them on how they can post their pictures, how they can appear in their social media, so that they won't become victims of human trafficking. That is one. Number two is to make sure whenever I sense any or some sort of human trafficking act or conduct or any means, I report it to the responsible agencies or institutions, such as the one which has initiated this workshop, so that they can take further steps to combat this thing or to solve these things out. Why? Because human trafficking has been one of the weapons that destroy the visions and many dreams of the youth. Most of the dreams and the vision within the lives of youth, or within the lives of youth in this country or within the globe, it is going down, or it is facing death, or it is actually dead. It is actually dying because of human trafficking. Youth who are planning, or youth who are dreaming of becoming good people, of becoming better people, perhaps presidents, perhaps leaders of this kind, perhaps rich people, perhaps good businessmen, and all these kind of potentials. But when they are deported from their country, or when they are trafficked from their own country to another country, they face another kind of life which deplete or which kill automatically the dreams within them. So through human trafficking, we have found that most of the youth have lost their dreams, have lost their visions. Now, when I took the step, or when other youth took a step from this workshop which has been initiated, it is totally clear that we will become the agents of change. We will become the agents of combating human trafficking within our country, globally, or within Africa. See, so the changes are starting from this knowledge you have gained, from this potential and abilities and skills we have gained from this workshop. When we go out with this light, with this knowledge, we'll be agent of change towards combating human trafficking within our own country, East Africa, Africa, and the globe. So thank you so much. I really thank those who initiated this workshop. I'm really, really enlightened, and now I'm coming out with a new light on how I can protect myself, as well as protecting my fellow youth within this country, within Africa, within the globe, from human trafficking, so that their dreams and their visions may become true. Thank you so much.
Chuo cha mipango tunasema stop human trafficking. And so the University of Dodoma, together we say stop human trafficking. Woo!